Hi, friends. This is an unexpected live stream. Unexpected for sure. Um, I was just kind of sitting and thinking to myself, I'm about to see Encanto in a couple of hours. And the main question I have is, what is Mirabel's power going to be? And so, with the limited resources, like we're not really given a lot with the trailers. Um, I tried to pull together a couple of different theories on like what her power could possibly be. And I wanted you guys to be able to see this and play it back because I know this is kind of smack dab in the middle of the day for everybody. So, my usual crew that is here for my live streams is probably not going to see this till later, but I want you guys to be able to play this back and see some of my theories or hear out some of my theories, I should say. So hello, Amen. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about one of my theories, which I feel like is the most obvious theory about what her power could be. And then I was thinking we can maybe go through the trailer and kind of break it down and see if we can get any clues from the trailer on what her power could be. So my first theory for what Mirabel's power is going to be is simply that she doesn't have one. Sorry, my throat gave out a little bit. Um, so basically, with that theory, I feel like it's the most obvious. I feel like a lot of people have that same thought that Mirabel, she comes from a family of individuals who all have a magical power. And she obviously she longs to have a power, but she doesn't have a power. But she is the only one who can save everyone's power and put the casita back together, or at least that's what it looks like from the trailer. So I think we're going to see, Mirabel go through all these trials and tribulations by herself, and she's going to prove to everyone that, despite her not having a magical power, she was, strong and courageous enough to put everyone's powers or give everyone's powers back. Um, Clearly we see, a gem that is broken at some point in the trailer. And I think that's obviously what Mirabel is going to pursue. She's going to pursue trying to put that gem back together. And I think she's only going to be able to do that with the help of Bruno, who seems to be like the outcast uncle that we hear about. Hi, Queen Tiana. How are you? So that's my thought, and I think that's a lot of people's thought is Mirabel is going to be an ordinary person who finds out that her magical power is just simply being herself. And I think it's a very powerful message to send to audiences, right? Like obviously we don't have any magical powers, unfortunately. But we can do things that are magical in nature, by like doing the right thing, the honest thing, the courageous thing, right? So I think it's an important message if this ends up being what the ending looks like and she has no magical power. I think it's a powerful message for audiences to see that you don't have to have this extraordinary gift to be special. You are special just being yourself. But I will say, as much as I think the movie might end that way, I'm hoping it doesn't because it's so predictable. I think we're all banking on that type of an ending. So I'm hoping that they throw in, a twist of some sort and she does end up having a power. So we're going to go through the trailer and kind of go like frame by frame. And I'm going to stop it when I think, there's something that we can pick up on in terms of a clue. But let me share my screen. I'll tell you also one of my other theories before we start. So one of my other theories is, and we're going to see this in the trailer and I'll stop, but one of my theories is that the Abuela who we see is, she's young at one point in the trailer. She is young and she lights a candle, and that candle then ignites this whole like ripple effect, and the casita ends up having magic, and then the casita, I guess, kind of transfers that power over to each individual in the family. But the abuela herself doesn't seem to have a power. It's her three children that end up with the power. And those three children being Julieta, which is Mirabel's mom, Peppa, which is Mirabel's aunt, and then Bruno, the uncle. So I think, from what I've seen, of course, that Abuela not having a power is going to be similar to that of Mirabel not having a power. So Mirabel not having a power isn't a bad thing necessarily, but what I think is going to happen is she's going to basically replace Abuela. And this whole saving the magic is going to show that. It's going to prove that to everyone that she's the glue that's going to hold the whole entire family together, just like the Abuela is. The Abuela is basically the historian in the group. She's the one that's actually lived through the beginning of the magic, and she's the one that tells the tale. So I think it's going to be like a passing of the torch moment where, you know, because of this big conquest, Mirabel has like proven herself, and then she kind of becomes like the head of the household, and it gets like passed on, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead now and pull up the trailer. Let me know if you guys can see it. I think it's up. Yeah, it is up. Let's enter it into full. Can I do that? Yeah, so we're going to watch it, and then I'm going to kind of go like step by step, kind of let it play for a little while, but then pause. So obviously right now we're seeing an aerial shot of the casita.
Many years ago, this candle blessed our family with a miracle.
Okay, so I'm going to go back a little bit. So you see on her, on Mirabel's shirt, let's go back a little bit. And I feel like there's a lot of importance on the butterfly. So you see the butterfly on her shirt, and actually it's all throughout her shirt. You can see the butterfly. And I think that's very symbolic. And I think basically, because you guys know how a caterpillar, you know, goes into its cocoon and then it turns into a butterfly. I think this is basically symbolic of Mirabel's journey. She is going to start off as this caterpillar who's kind of unsure of themselves and, you know, is eager for, you know, this magic and this magical transformation, if you will. And then she goes into the cocoon, which is maybe the journey itself, the conquest, and then she'll become a butterfly at the end. So I don't know. There's something to do with butterflies. I might be diving a little too deep into it, but I see the butterflies on her shirt, and then I also see the butterfly on Abuela's candle. So I'm just wondering if there's something to do with butterflies, or she has some sort of power associated with butterflies. Or it's just very symbolic of the family, or like not symbolic of the family, but symbolic of Mirabel and her journey of transforming, something along those lines. So I'm going to kind of keep going, see if there's anything else we can kind of pick out. We can clearly see at the top, there is a room dedicated to Antonio. And if you guys watched my family tree breakdown video, basically what happens is that when each of the different children come of age and they get their magical power, they are rewarded a specific house within the casita. So they start off in the nursery. They all start off in the nursery together. And then once they display their magical power, it is said, at least on the internet, the different things that I've read, it is said that they are given a specific room in the casita so that they can work on their powers. So if you look at the top behind Abuela, you can see that the door right there says Antonio, which is the youngest of the magical family that we know of. So let's keep going.
Bless our family.
So we see the whole family. And so this is the introduction. So that is young Abuela. And she clearly she lit the candle. And then that candle becomes the casita. And the casita is built with magical properties into it. And you see her, she's holding those 3 children. I don't know, we'll go back a little bit. If you guys can see, she's holding those 3 little kids. So those 3 little kids are Bruno, the outcast uncle that we know of, Peppa, and Julieta, which is Mirabel's mom. So those are the three kids. And again, we don't see Abuela have any powers. She doesn't display any here other than she lights the candle. And she has three kids who end up having a magical property. So one of my theories was that maybe Abuela is like the supreme, and she has a little bit of every power, if that makes sense. So she shares powers that are similar to each of her children, but she also shares powers similar to all of the family members. So that could be possible. And then that would be another theory for Mirabel. Like maybe Mirabel, she has a little bit of everyone's power. She's like the ultimate supreme. And it's just taken a while for her powers to come through and be shown. And that's why she doesn't have one right away, because she has everybody. She has a little bit of everyone's power. So that's what I'm wondering, because we don't see any powers displayed by Abuela. And I think that might be on purpose. I think they maybe obviously don't want to give away the movie. And if they show that she has a little bit of everyone's power, then that could probably, give away a major part of the plot. So we're going to keep going.
Our casita came to life with magic.
So we know it came to life. Okay, and so clearly the casita is alive. So one of my other theories, which is not fleshed out whatsoever in regards to Mirabel's power, is her ability to be able to understand the house and understand its magic and understand that it has feelings. Clearly, like the casita is almost like a living, breathing thing, pretty much. It has a mind of its own. She talks to the casita. So I'm wondering if maybe her power has something to do, with the casita itself. So maybe in the movie, we'll see her, become very, very, or maybe let me put it this way, that the casita and her are like one, like they're together almost. And maybe in the movie, we'll see Mirabel get really upset and just a really, traumatic moment where, she's like given up on herself because she doesn't have a power. And that's when the house starts to break apart. And that's when the magic starts to go south for everyone. So maybe she has a relationship, a very, very deep relationship with the casita itself. And when Mirabel starts to, head south in terms of her emotions and her feelings because she doesn't quite fit in, that's when the house itself starts to break apart. So I think that was actually a very strong theory. I think that could easily have something to do with it because, again, we only really see Mirabel talk to the house. She's the only one who seems to have some sort of relationship with it. Everyone else just seems to kind of live in it. But she is the only one who seems to have some sort of attachment to it. So let's continue. So we see obviously the floors are moving after Mirabel has like commanded the floors. Have you guys all know? So she's kind of commanded floors, drawers, she does all of that, as we'll see.
In time, every member of our family.
So her cousin, the shapeshifter, her sister, the plant life, and this is Antonio with the ability to talk to animals. Her older sister, Luisa, who has super strength.
Or effortlessly perfect, like Señorita Perfecta.
Mom, why am I the only one that didn't get a gift? You're just as special as anyone else in this family.
So, and she's obviously telling her mom, why didn't I get a gift? Hi, Matthew. So she's saying, why am I the only one who didn't get a gift? And her mom is reiterating to her, just because you don't have a gift, that doesn't make you any less special. And so that kind of brings me back to the first theory of she's not going to have a power. And we're going to see that you can be an ordinary person and still be special. And you don't need a magical power, So I feel like that one's so obvious though. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't know. You guys, when this video is up, please leave down in the comments what you think her power is going to be. I think that one's a little too obvious. But I don't know. It kind of foreshadows a little bit here when she's having the conversation with her mom, and her mom kind of, you know, reiterating, you don't really need a power. You're going to be fine. You're just as special. Hi, Renee. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to be conversing as much with the chat. I'm just kind of going through the trailer and trying to break down the trailer a little bit before I go and see the movie and try to hypothesize what exactly, or theorize what exactly Mirabel's power is going to be. So let's let it play a little more.
You just healed my hand with an arepa con queso.
Casita?
So you see the casita is breaking apart. And you guys also, here we go. I paused it again. Do you guys see the doors? So the doors, again, like I had said a little bit earlier, each of the doors is given to one of the Madrigal family members once they show a power. So once they show their magical power, they are given a door in the casita to practice their magical power. And Mirabel is the only one who doesn't have one. So she is stuck in the nursery. It is said online, a couple of articles have mentioned that she is stuck in the nursery with the youngest, Antonio. And so she doesn't have a designated door yet because she hasn't displayed a power yet. So let's continue a little bit.
What's going on? The magic is in danger.
The magic is in danger is what we get from, and the candle, ooh, I paused it perfectly. The candle is about to fall. So the candle is still lit at the time that the house is breaking apart. So I'm starting to think that the candle is really not that important because, and I'm starting to think now even more that Mirabel really is connected to the casita. That is what I'm thinking. Hi, Amber. And so, yeah, I don't know, because the candle, I would think, would have been put out, right? And that's why the house started to break apart. So let's watch a little bit more.
We must protect our home. We must protect our family. This is my chance.
So again, we get a better view of the house and the doors and the candle at the very, very top. If you guys can see it there. And then Mirabel says, this is my chance. I will save the magic.
I will save the magic. Wait, how do I save the magic? I'm losing my gift.
Okay, let's go a little bit back here. Okay, so it starts to crumble. I don't see the candle in the window anymore. If you guys can look and see that candle is not there anymore. Hi, Molly. Yeah, when I'm done with the trailer, I'll definitely ask you guys what you think is going to happen, what you think the magical power is going to be. Oh, she has the candle in her hand, it looks like. So the candle is very important. Can you guys see that? When she's jumping down, there's a candle in her hand. So maybe, I don't know. It's not giving me much.
I'm losing my gift.
Okay, everyone's gifts are kind of... Okay, and this is the most interesting part, is this gem. What is this gem going to symbolize? What does the gem mean? And does the gem have anything to do with Mirabel's power? That's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm wondering, once she puts that together, is that when her power is finally revealed? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's keep watching.
The fate of the family is going to come down to you. I can't do this.
Let me help you.
Okay, and that's Bruno.
The rats told me everything. Don't eat those.
Even in our darkest moments, there's light.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Even in our darkest moments, she says there's light. So this is really interesting. Like, I want to know where this particular place is that she found this gem. Again, this isn't really revealing much about what her power might be, I don't think, personally.
This moment. There's light.
And then we see this beautiful tree. I don't know what this tree is going to mean. Maybe this is where the actual source is of all of the magic. Could that be it? Could that be part of it? Right? Because it looks like it's an entirely different world almost.
There's light where you least expect it.
Okay, we didn't get much from the ending either, I don't think. What did that stone say? Did you guys see the stone? Your future awaits. So, curious where this is.
A lot of stairs. But at least I'll have a friend. Nope, he flew away immediately.
I don't know. See, we don't get a lot from that trailer. So I think I'm going to stand by some of my original theories. I don't know which one is right and which one is wrong necessarily. But so we have one that her magical power is just going to be being herself and being able to save the magic and prove to everyone that she did it without having a power. Two, there's some sort of relation to her maybe being the next Abuela. Like Abuela is going to basically pass the torch on to her, and she's going to prove herself through this whole conquest. Or three, I think she might have a little bit of everyone's power. So she's kind of like the supreme, maybe, and she has a little bit of everyone's power. And that's maybe why it's taken so long for her powers to like manifest. But what do you guys think? I'm going to open it up to you guys. What do you think is going to be her magical power? Like, what do we think? And I'm a few hours away from going to actually see it. So these are just my predictions that I'm going to leave online, and I'm either going to be really, really right or really, really wrong. So I have a theory. Okay. The huge tree place is revealed to be in the house when a new room opens. Oh, I see. Okay. So Molly, what are your two theories? I am definitely curious what you guys think, because again, even watching it back, I'm kind of like, I'm not exactly sure what her power is going to be. Oh, and then that was my other theory, is that she is somehow tied to the house, and she's the only one that can like understand the house, and her and the house are, I shouldn't call it the house, the proper name, Casita. Her and the Casita are intertwined. And I have a feeling that when Mirabel gets really upset or defeated, because she will be at some point in this movie because she doesn't have a power yet, that is when the Casita starts to fall apart. Or it could be, I know a lot of people think that the Casita starts to fall apart because they have basically pushed away that Uncle Bruno. They've like completely outcasted him. And that's the reason that the house starts to fall apart, is because the family is not all together. One theory is that her power is she can relight the candle. Oh, you know what? I like that. Something to do with the candle. So that actually kind of could tie into my own theory about her kind of being the next head of the household, the next Abuela, because Abuela seems to be like the only one who can handle the candle. She's the one that lit the candle. So yeah, you're totally right. Maybe that passes on, because obviously Abuela can't be alive forever. So maybe that candle and being able to relight it, maybe that ability is only for Mirabel. That totally makes sense, Molly. And that actually like kind of goes hand in hand with mine. So yeah. And I think you're right. And you just added, but everyone respects her. And yeah, I think this whole entire journey will solidify, how amazing she is and how reliable she is, and everyone will respect her, and therefore she will become the head of the household. Sorry, throat is cutting out. Maybe she has a healing power like her mother, but it's a more emotional and empathetic power. That could be it too. Because you have to remember her. So her mother, Julieta, has the ability to heal. And then her father actually has no magical power whatsoever. So it is reasonable to assume that she might have inherited some sort of power similar to that of her mother. I feel like the green stone that was broken, I feel like that stone represents everyone's powers and her stone just broke, so she couldn't get her powers. Oh, that could be interesting. So basically, everyone has their own green stone. That is very interesting. That could definitely have something to do with it. In the song they released, We Don't Talk About Bruno, there is a lyric where Abuela says, Isabel, your boyfriend is here. Oh, interesting. So are we thinking that Bruno I don't know what that means though, Molly. Does that mean because Isabel, maybe her boyfriend sabotages the candle or he is the twist villain. There's not much about him, so I want to find out who he is. Oh, that could be it. I did read somewhere though that there's not a designated villain. So I don't know how if that's true or not though. Obviously, these are everyone's own predictions and whatnot. But that could possibly be it. Let me the father is a muggle. Jerry, absolutely. Definitely is. But I don't think there's much other than what I've kind of stated. Again, if you guys have a theory of your own or you just thought of something, definitely let me know. Um, I really hope it's not the predictable theory that I gave you guys in the beginning. That's what I'm really hoping, that it's not that. As beautiful as the message would be, I just would like to see something a little bit different because I personally don't like to predict the outcome of a movie and then be right, because then I'm like, okay, well, I didn't even need to see the movie because I knew what was going to happen. So I'm thinking a lot of people are kind of echoing the same sentiments, that she is what holds the family together. She is the most approachable and friendly. And you can kind of see that from, I think it was the teaser trailer, not the trailer itself, but the teaser trailer, when all of the village kids flock to her and they come and hang out with her. I think it's because she has this presence about herself and she doesn't even realize it. But you know how some people just like they radiate good vibes and energy. And I think that's Mirabel, but she just doesn't see it as important. She doesn't see it as an essential thing, but people gravitate towards her. And I think that's the same to be said about her abuela. So I'm just really curious if there's going to be this really big connection between her and the abuela. There's also, I don't know, I'm going to bring it up for you guys, but maybe in some way, shape, or form, the abuelo, who we don't see because he's passed away, I would assume, maybe there's some sort of connection between Mirabel and her abuelo who passes away. So maybe I'm going to show you guys that family tree with him at the very top. Because he is on the picture, but he's never mentioned, talked about, but I'm just curious, like maybe they're okay. So do you guys see that family tree? Oh, that's not a great view of it. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. There, okay. So do you guys see the top? So obviously we see Abuela, but Abuelo, we don't see him anywhere. Oh, it's still not big for you guys, huh? Oh, that's because I opened it in another tab. Okay, hold on. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Okay, can you guys see it now? Will your review of the movie come out soon? Yes, I'm actually planning to film it right after I go see the movie tonight because I don't want to like save it for another time because then I'll forget everything. So I'm definitely planning to do it tonight. The song also revealed her boyfriend will marry someone else instead of her. As Bruno said, I don't know why that would matter though. Interesting. I also think Mirabel will go to Uncle Bruno because she wants to know if she caused the candle going out because in the trailer she blames herself for it. Yeah, I'm curious too because Bruno obviously sees the future. That's what his power is he sees the future whether it's good or bad. And yeah, I could see that. That's why I'm saying maybe there's just this big connection between Abuela, her, and the candle. And only her and only Abuela and Mirabel can handle the candle, and they're the only ones that are in charge of the candle. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. There's just so many ways this could go. And honestly, they don't give a lot in the trailer. Like it seems like a lot of information, but there's really not that much information. So I'm going to look a little bit more, and you guys are welcome to chat amongst each other. I'm just going to look through an article really quick and see if I can pick up anything. So I apologize if it's a little quiet for a second. I also kind of want to bring us back to the butterfly thing because just the butterflies are everywhere. They're in the trailer, they're outside the house, they're on the candle, they're on her shirt. And I'm just like, there has to be something to do with the butterfly, or maybe, again, like I said earlier, maybe the butterfly just represents her transformation in the movie. I don't know. It's just like when you see something so frequently, like it's all over the trailer, we see the butterflies. It's like it has to have something to do with the story, right? Like they didn't just put the butterflies there just to put butterflies there. It's Sherry. Wrong movie. Bruno is helping Mirabel. His summoning circle has the same color palette as the final scene with the green. Maybe it's in her mind. Her power is broken and she needs to go inside to fix it. I don't know. Molly, I like all of your predictions. Let me keep reading. I don't know. I don't know. This is bothering me. I know I'm gonna find out in a couple of hours, but I'm like, it bothers me. I want to know. The butterfly is the metamorphosis of change. It may be her power is still in the caterpillar state while she's a butterfly, or a character development. Yeah, that's like what I thought too, Molly. I said that in the beginning. I was like, maybe, at this stage when she's, obviously doubting herself, she feels bad. She doesn't understand why she doesn't have a magical power. It's kind of like the caterpillar, it's like, not that the caterpillar thinks this, but we can imagine the caterpillar thinks, like, what am I doing? Like, what is my real gift here? Like, just kind of going along day to day. And then the journey that Mirabel goes on is going to be like the cocoon. And then once she saves the magic, then that will represent her transformation into a butterfly. And that transformation into a butterfly could perhaps be that she is finally rewarded her magical ability. So maybe she is the light to all magic. Ooh, I like that too. Yeah, so she basically represents the light. And the light is what that candle is what gives everyone their magic. So that could possibly be it. I like that as well. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. I think we have a lot of great ideas here, and I cannot wait to come back and rewatch this video to see if any of us are right on our predictions. I think it's going to be fun. I love theorizing what I think is going to happen and then kind of coming back to it to see if I got anything right. So thank you all that were here for this random stream today. But I'm going to head out and I'm going to prepare to go see this movie in a little bit. And I will catch you all in the next live stream, which is going to be our watch party on Sunday. Oh, thank you, Molly. I'll definitely do that. I'm going to look up the song titles. Bye, everyone. I'll see you later.